Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Gallant effort by Denzel Bentley. Went over to America, took on the Kazakhstan fighter Janibek Alimkhanully. Alimkhanully, I think that's how you pronounce it. Undefeated fighter. Alimkhanully now moves to 13 wins, no defeats. He's got 8 KOs, but his KO streak was broken by Denzel Bentley, who lost by scores of two lots of 116 to 112. That's what I had it. 116, 112. There's no doubt Denzel lost the fight. The other judge had it 118 to 110. I thought it was way too wide. And actually, Denzel's trainer was interviewed afterwards and said, yeah, that was too wide. I agree. I thought Denzel did win rounds. Where did he lose the fight? I think in the early rounds. I mean, I gave the first 4 rounds, I think, to Alimkhanully. I thought Denzel was. It was weird because Denzel wasn't doing anything, and yet Alimkhanully wasn't doing much either. But you just felt that Alimkhanully was controlling the pace, but not the pace, the range a bit more, and Denzel just couldn't get close. He seemed very sort of cautious, a little bit too reticent, as if he was scared of this reputation that this supposed big banger had. Alimkhanully was on like I say, a knockout streak. He won the vacant title. I think it was a vacant title from Danny Dingham, another Englishman. He just smashed through him in 2 rounds, and he'd been wrecking a few other people. You know, he stopped Rob Brandt in 8. Hassam and Dan and Jinkam. He stopped. It was Shopworn, former WBA champ? I think so. But yeah, he got stopped in 8 as well. So Alimkhanully was probably getting into the mindset, maybe even subconsciously, that he was going to knock everyone out. And Denzel coming off a couple of good wins. He's regained his British title, defended it very recently against Marcus Morrison, stopped him in 4. But of course, if you go back to April 2021, he did lose to Felix Cash. Very disappointing performance, lost in 3 rounds, but was never flawed. I don't think he was flawed in that fight. That was for the British and the Commonwealth titles. So, having said that, you know, Alimkhanully probably thought, I'll wreck this guy in 3 rounds, 4 rounds maybe. That wasn't the case. Because although he won those early rounds, not by doing much at all. I mean, Denzel will probably look at those first 4 rounds and think, that's where I lost the fight. I think that's a pretty good shout. But in the 5th round, Denzel's corner said, you've got to step this up, otherwise it's a farce. You know, you're gonna lose every round. And he was edging closer and throwing more punches. At least he was trying to win. And Alimkhanully was, you would think, yeah, he certainly did have the heavier hands, but you would think that he would welcome that, because the guy's stepping to him and he's able to, throw his own meaty punches. And to some extent he did, but I thought Denzel was pinching the odd round here and there. And when he got in close, I mean, Denzel's left hook is a very good weapon, but he was also landing his right cross as well. And Alimkhanully is a southpaw, so the right cross is the sort of pet punch if you're fighting a southpaw. But I don't think Denzel ever really landed that left hook of his, which is a very good punch. I don't think he ever landed. I think he landed. I can't remember him landing it once, not solidly anyway. And Alimkhanully, I mean, this had chess match written all over it. Certainly for the first 4 or 5 rounds, but even when things hotted up a little bit, there was still an air of, people, but both of them didn't really want to throw punches unless they were sort of 70% sure they were going to land. Do you know what I mean? It was very, very cautious fight. And Alimkhanully, because he had the heavier hands, probably was having more of an effect, but he didn't really do much damage until the very final round, where he actually caught Denzel, and Denzel, for the first time, his legs stiffened and he looked a little bit all at sea. It looked like his legs weren't fully under him, and Alimkhanully ran after him, put it on him. But credit to Denzel, I mean, he good recuperative powers. He didn't go on the floor. He managed to punch back, and as the fight, in the last 10 seconds of the fight, I mean, they were just, it was phone booth stuff. They were just letting their hands go, try and knock each other out. But Janibek Alilkhanuly retains his title, and yeah, deservedly so. Deservedly so. Denzel will look back on this, Denzel Bentley, and think, oh, I could have done more. I could have done this. I could have done that. And to be honest with you, he denied being nervous or even afraid in the opening rounds. But during the referee's instructions, I was looking at Denzel's eyes, and he didn't look confident. He didn't. Now that could be deceptive. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But I think those first 4 rounds, he just needed to sort of gain a bit of self-belief and edge his way into the fight. And Alilkhanuly probably was, no, nobody was there for the taking, but those early rounds, he himself didn't do much. You know, even though Denzel was doing next to nothing, Alilkhanuly wasn't really doing much. And I'm not going to say he was exposed, because I think an advantage was that Denzel's gone 12 rounds a few times and Alilkhanuly hadn't. And I don't think he's ever been 12 rounds before, Alilkhanuly. I don't think has he ever been 10? I don't think he's ever been 10 rounds before. So there was that aspect that I think was overlooked by Denzel Bentley and his team. The fact that, you know, they needed to put it on Alilkhanuly early. You know, make him fight at a pace. Even if you're losing rounds, you're at least making him fight at a pace that he doesn't like. So when he gets into those uncharted territories, you know, rounds 9, 10, 11, 12, he's going to be thinking, he's going to be doubting himself. I think that was perhaps a little bit of an opportunity missed. But it wasn't the most exciting of fights. It was okay. It was intriguing, but I give credit. To, you know, Alilkhanuly. He's 29 years old now. He wants to prove that he's the best middleweight in the world. I don't know whether that's the case. I mean, would he beat Golovkin? Even though Golovkin is a depleted force, I would say not on the evidence of this. Although, I don't know. Maybe Golovkin's there for the taking. You just don't know, do you? Because once someone hits 40, they can get old overnight. I would still pick Golovkin over Alilkhanuly. Of course, they're both from Kazakhstan. So maybe a big, you know, domestic rivalry. As for Denzel, he's still got his British title. He took this fight at relatively short notice. This is coming off the back of the Marcus Morrison victory, very quickly. But fighting men are there to fight, and Denzel, 27 years old, he can come again. You know, he's got that belt. He can maybe go for the European, and he'll be a better fighter because of the experience of this 12 rounds. He'll learn a lot from this and gain a lot of confidence. So there you go. I mean, looking at the, you know, Jamal Charlo's in the middleweight mix. Obviously, Golovkin, Andrade still knocking around. Ryota Murata, maybe he's going to come back after that Golovkin defeat. You just don't know. But so there are options for Alilkhanuly. But for Denzel, it's back to domestic level. Maybe make a run for European, I'd say. Anyway, did you see the fight? It was on DAZN. Like I say, not a barn burner, but an intriguing fight. Have a look at it if you've got DAZN, or maybe you catch it on YouTube or Daily Motion or something. And tell me what you think. Leave your comments below. Thanks as always for all your time, for watching the video. Hit the like button if you've liked the video. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be fantastic. Helps the channel out a great deal. And yeah, thanks for your time again. We'll speak again soon. Bye for now.